Please, ask away, detective. As far as I'm aware, everything is in order. From what I understand, the late Viscount had made some questionable investments, but that is all in the past.
And regarding the payment of the blackmail?
Angeline does not have to worry about money anymore. I was born into some wealth, and I have earned my own fortune.
Merci, monsieur. I shall leave you to prepare for tonight's celebrations.
Detective, it looks as though I might be out here all weekend. What can I do for you? I'm a guest. I shouldn't have to go around chasing them.
Perhaps the party preparation is more of a priority.
It's not my fault they aren't ready. Why don't I wait here while you check in the butler's pantry in the east corridor? I think I saw a maid go in there earlier.
I shall take up no more of your time. Aha. Ah, Mademoiselle Elizabeth. What a pleasure to see you again.
Detective Poirot, I'm so glad you could make it.
Unfortunately, it is not purely for pleasure that I am here. Mademoiselle Angeline requires my attention professionally.
Yes, Angeline has told me. I'm glad she called upon you, Detective. I've been rather worried about her.
I will do everything I can to find the blackmailer and bring them to justice.
I have every faith in you.
I hope I am not interrupting you.
We're all very busy, as I'm sure you can imagine. After I'm done, I can come to your room and help you with any further questions. Ah yes, guests are requested to sign the book when arriving. I believe it gives details to the guests' room locations.
It stated the male guests are to be staying in the East Wing.
Yes, Madame does not believe in male and female guests residing beside one another. No one escorted you? I'm so sorry. Everyone is just so frantic at the moment. Madame has requested all staff prepare for this evening.
And you have been tasked with jobs in the pantry. Surely your talents could be used elsewhere.
I do as Madame asks. Well, as Archie asks.
Monsieur Sterling. Yes, I met him when I arrived. A charming gentleman. He did give me some rather vague instructions to find my room, though.
I can only apologise on his behalf. He would be mortified. I'm afraid I cannot be of much more help, but I believe you are located next to Mr. De Silva. By all means, the house is yours to explore. Yes, I'm afraid it may be all for show, though. She has not been herself, and it is not only I that have noticed.
Madame Vandenbosch. Surely it must have had some effect on her.
Madame has carried on as though nothing has happened. She has never been one to show emotion, and she doesn't seem to notice how it has affected Angeline. The staff, on the other hand... Angeline means no harm, but there have been some instances recently where she has acted rather sharply with them.
I hope not too sharply. A house of two Madame Vandenbosches would surely be too much for anyone.
Oh, yes, well... I'm afraid it is far from a happy ending. Luke is sadly no longer with us.
Oh, mademoiselle, I was not aware.
It's fine, Detective, honestly. I'm sorry, but I really must finish this.
Bien sûr, mademoiselle. Merci, mademoiselle.
The pleasure is mine, Detective. Before you leave, Detective, I have something for you beside the furnace here from Angeline. She wanted me to give it to you on your arrival.
Merci, mademoiselle. Aha.
What a revelation!
Of course, Detective. What is it? I would not say it in front of the Major, but it is rather hideous. It was a gift from him to Madame from his time overseas. I don't think it even has the capability of writing.
A pen that does not write is like a fish that cannot swim.
As Angeline describes it, a useless ornament. It's the thought that counts, I suppose.
Merci, mademoiselle.
Pleasure is mine, Detective.
Huh.
What can I help you with, detective? As you would expect, she has been in quite a state. It was such a terrible accident. She kept it to herself for almost a week before she even told me.
Pardon, how could you not know? Surely his absence from the house was noticed.
Maman fired him after he returned to the house. She said he could not be trusted.
But Mademoiselle Elizabeth's position was kept?
I begged Maman for them both, but she said if he was willing to go behind her back, what else could he do?
Falling in love is a far cry from committing even the smallest crime, n'est-ce pas?
She has been a kind shoulder to lean on through all this mess, but it is her I worry about. She has been through so much.
I was not aware of what had happened, and by mentioning, I fear I may have only made it worse by dredging up the past.
Do not punish yourself, detective. You are not to know. I don't think your honest mistake will make much difference to how she has been feeling recently. I was right to pay it, yes? You have read them. What do you think?
You were wise to consult me, but bowing to their threat may have only shown that you are willing to pay for their silence. Is the secret they speak of worth so much?
I wish I could, but I have no idea. The letter was addressed to me, but I have nothing to hide. Maman took one look at it and disregarded the whole thing as someone's idea of a joke.
She looked at it. She is not aware of the second letter.
She doesn't know I paid the first. I thought I could make it all go away.
Did you ask Madame if there was a family secret they could be privy to?
She said I was to ignore the letters and stop wasting my time with such foolishness. If there was something, she wouldn't tell me anyway. I couldn't ask Maman for the money. She was angry that I had even considered paying it. Gideon offered to help.
Pardon, did he not think you foolish for paying?
He did, but he said he couldn't stand by and watch me in so much distress.
How honorable.
We are soon to be married, detective. A loving partnership that faces their troubles together. They are his words.
I did not mean anything by it, mademoiselle. You have found yourself a husband that will stand by your side and do what must be done to protect you. I am most pleased for you. Merci, mademoiselle. I shall find you if there is anything further I need.
Detective, Is that what he said? I can barely understand most of what he says with that accent.
I find his accent rather pleasant, reassuring.
I guess. Not too helpful when it comes to finding your room, though. You'll probably be the lucky one that has that hideous plant outside the door.
I shall take up no more of your time. À bientôt.
Please, ask away, detective. I suppose you think I was unwise to pay it?
I am glad mademoiselle requested my help before you fell further out of pocket.
Madame van den Bosch had no intentions of paying it. whether she believes there is a secret that could ruin the family or not.
It was an honorable move for you to make the payment. It was certainly no small fee.
Angeline is to be my wife, and then we shall be family. As far as I am concerned, my money is our money. Angeline has spoken of it. You made quite the impression on her, detective.
I feel responsible for what came from that day. Florette's dismissal and Luc's.
It is not your fault. Madame Vandenbosch does not like it when her rules or authority are undermined. I try to explain to Angeline the same, but her guilt has not left her.
Merci, monsieur. I shall leave you to prepare for tonight's celebration. Oh. Aha. Oh. Ah.
Some would say a lucky guess. I would... Magnifique. Another success. I never doubted myself. Things are beginning to become clear. The pieces of the puzzle are finally coming together. I should not be surprised by my own skills of deduction. What a revelation! Magnifique. Things are beginning to become clear. Some would say a lucky guess. I would say... Ah. Huh. Oh. Elizabeth, thank you for coming. I shall not take up too much more of your precious time.
Not at all, Detective. I had best not be away for too long. Madame would not be pleased when there is so much work to do.
Well, mademoiselle, if anyone was to ask, I required your urgent attention with a delicate matter. That should be enough to give you a moment's peace.
Thank you, Detective. I have heard whispers, but this town is full of busybodies. It's hard to know what is the truth and what is hot air from socialites trying to outdo one another.
I would not have thought you want to join in with such chatter.
I'm not, but it can be hard to ignore. I try to quash any talk of it in the house. But it's easier said than done. When the staff are together, it seems to be a competition to see who can dream up the most scandalous rumour.
You are a loyal maid and friend. Mademoiselle Angeline is fortunate to have you.
It baffles me why they would target her in the first place. She has such a kind and pure soul. That may not be what you remember of Mademoiselle, but she has grown into a kind-hearted young lady.
I was wary of that when I arrived, but I myself can see a change in her, a maturity. And if it is as kind and pure as you have stated, she should not be troubled by the letter.
Letters, Detective. I have brought you the other. I have tried to tell her not to think any more on them, but she fears that even a fabricated story could ruin the family name. She even frets at what it may do to her engagement.
I have met Monsieur Demire, and I cannot see his love for Angeline diminishing at something so trivial. Merci for bringing this letter to me. Merci, mademoiselle.
The pleasure is mine, Detective.
Another success. I never doubted myself. What a revelation!
Of course, Detective. What is it? That is news to me, Detective.
The deeds to the house that have been left on the table. Perhaps I am jumping to a hasty assumption.
Oh no, Madame asked Archie to inquire in town about having the house registered as a landmark. It's a shame the snow is so thick. The gardens are quite wonderful in full bloom. Perhaps you will be able to walk them when the snow clears. She will no doubt be with Master Gideon. The party was just beginning when I came upstairs.
That is my cue to make a grand entrance. Am I presentable enough for the creme of society?
Quite handsome, Detective.
Merci. If you catch me snoring, please poke me in the ribs.
I will use Madame's sharpest poker.
It sounds as though someone else may have already been poked.